On the fire side, we had a number of 35 calls, 86, which is an increase of 11.7% over this time last year, 77. On the ambulance calls, we had, for the month of February, we did 617 calls for the month. Year to date was 1,260, which is down approximately 4% of 1,312 over this time last year. In the month of February, the TFAS did 270 double calls, which is down slightly from January of 284. The reason why we moved forward putting this in is just to highlight the importance of having that third ambulance staffed, because this is basically having both ambulances tied up simultaneously in our community. Again, in discussions with Shared Health and hopefully move forward with our service purchase agreement. Time 8 members thus far have exceeded the 100-hour of overtime accumulated. So since the start of this year, we had 1,755 hours total to date, and that is not. That's just a gauge, more or less, to show to highlight the fact that our members are working to the best of their abilities. It doesn't have an impact on our community with respect to our delivery of service. So currently, right now, we have seven vacancies within the department, 6 full-time and 1 term with Thompson Emergency Services. However, at the time of this report, we did in fact hire 1 candidate, and he's accepted an offer as a firefighter paramedic, and he is starting his employment with us on March 25th. And then, of course, we held 2 additional interviews, and I can say that both interviews went exceptionally well. So we're in the process, working with HR, getting a lot of offers out to those 2 further candidates. We have a start date to be determined, which will certainly have an impact, and we'll start seeing some relief on the overtime costs moving forward with respect to our hard vacancies and whatnot. Hopefully, we won't be without that temporary position for much further longer. We typically don't track that because oftentimes when we arrive on a scene, the determinants and the priorities go through Manitoba Telecommunications Center. So basically, they'll fall back on the caller themselves, dependent on if it's alcohol related. To answer your question, I don't have that information for me right now, nor can I even venture to guess, if I could, on what those numbers are without further investigating it. I can certainly pull that for you for the next meeting, absolutely. So in Thompson, we have Public Works that does the annual testing on our hydrants, typically in the spring and the fall of the year. So all the hydrant repair, maintenance, and upkeeping is done through Public Works. We also have private fire hydrants in our community as well. So typically, for example, I'll use Grey Wolf Bay. Wherever you see a commercial dumpster in a property area that's on, say, Grey Wolf Bay, they have their community dumpster in the middle, then the onus falls back on the ownership of that property to make sure that their hydrants are maintained and working properly. It doesn't come back onto the City of Thompson's Public Works Department. So there are areas in Thompson where, again, education goes a long way. When we had that incident on Grey Wolf Bay a few years back, and I made contact with the owner out of province, he was unaware that it was his duty to maintain those hydrants. Moving forward, he made sure that every year that he had a contractor flush those hydrants for him, for his benefit. With the infrastructure projects that were ongoing over the last couple of years, we had direct contact with the city's contact, Mike Webb, through the engineering department. So he would update us daily with respect to which hydrants were taken out of service for a contingency plan moving forward if we had a call for service in that area. At the same token, they would also notify us of new hydrants going in place. However, and feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, Director Sopranitz, they would notify us if they're operational or not. All the maintenance records and upkeeping are done through Public Works.